Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of forbidden tech, the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night. From mind control experiments to AI so powerful that governments had to shut them down, we're counting down the top 10 banned or controversial technologies that shocked the world. Stay till the end for the most dangerous technology ever created. All right, let's kick this thing off with a real doozy. We're talking about Project MKUltra, a top-secret CIA program that ran from the 50s to the 70s. Imagine the government experimenting on its own citizens, trying to figure out how to control their minds. It sounds like sci-fi horror, but this was real. They were dosing people with LSD, using hypnosis, electroshock therapy, you name it. They were trying to crack the code on brainwashing, on creating the perfect spies, the perfect soldiers. The official story is that MKUltra was all about Cold War paranoia, about keeping up with the Russians. But some believe it went much deeper, possibly creating assassins who could be programmed to kill and have no memory of it. The craziest part? We'll never know the full extent because the CIA destroyed most of the MKUltra files in the 70s. Next up, we're heading to the frozen Alaskan wilderness to talk about HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Officially, it's a research facility designed to study the ionosphere, the upper layer of our atmosphere. But some people believe it's capable of much more. We're talking about weather manipulation, folks, like full-on weaponized weather control. Think earthquakes, hurricanes, droughts, you name it. Some believe HAARP can beam high-frequency radio waves into the atmosphere, heating it up and creating all sorts of meteorological mayhem. The government denies all of this, of course, but the rumors persist, especially with countries like Russia and China expressing concern. Is HAARP a harmless research facility or a terrifying weapon of mass destruction disguised as science? It's a question that's been debated for decades. All right, let's talk about something that's both incredibly cool and incredibly creepy. AI that can read your mind. Scientists are developing technology that can tap into your brainwaves, decode your thoughts, and even control devices with your mind. We're talking about neural interfaces, brain-computer interfaces. They're little devices that can be implanted in your brain or worn on your head, picking up on the electrical signals your brain produces. The potential benefits are huge, controlling a prosthetic limb with your mind or communicating just by thinking. But what happens when this technology falls into the wrong hands? Governments, corporations, or hackers accessing your thoughts, your memories, your deepest desires. It's a scary thought, and it's not as far-fetched as you might think. This technology is being developed right now. So the question is, are we ready for a world where our thoughts are no longer our own? Chapter 4. Cloned humans, have we gone too far? Remember Dolly the sheep, the first cloned mammal? That was back in the 90s. Since then, scientists have cloned all sorts of animals, cows, pigs, monkeys, even dogs. But there's one animal that's still off limits, humans. Cloning humans is considered a scientific taboo, a line that we're not supposed to cross, and for good reason. Think about the ethical implications. We're talking about creating a genetically identical copy of a human being. What rights would that clone have? Would it be considered a person? And what about the potential for abuse? What's to stop some rich maniac from creating an army of clones? The technology is there, and the more we learn about genetics, the closer we get to making human cloning a reality. So the question is, should we? Chapter 5. TikTok, ban harmless fun or digital threat. All right, let's talk about TikTok. That app that everyone and their grandma seems to be obsessed with? Well, it turns out TikTok is a lot more controversial than you might think. It's been banned in several countries, including India and the United States. The official reason for these bans is usually national security concerns. Some believe that TikTok is being used by the Chinese government to spy on its users. Others say that the bans are just political posturing, a way for governments to crack down on a popular Chinese app. So, who's right? Is TikTok a harmless app for sharing funny videos, or is it a tool of the Chinese government? Chapter 6, Killer Robots. When AI decides who lives or dies. All right, let's talk about killer robots. We're talking about autonomous weapons systems, robots that can kill without any human intervention. This isn't some far-off sci-fi fantasy, folks. This is real technology that's being developed right now. And it's freaking a lot of people out. Do we really want to live in a world where machines are making life or death decisions? What happens when these robots malfunction? What happens when they get hacked? These are all very real concerns. Many experts are calling for a ban on lethal autonomous weapons, arguing that these weapons cross a moral line. But will it be enough to stop the development of these weapons? Only time will tell. All right, let's talk about something that should scare the hell out of you. Pegasus spyware. This is some seriously scary stuff, folks. We're talking about military-grade spyware that can secretly hack into any phone in the world, and I mean any phone. iPhones, Androids, it doesn't matter. Once Pegasus is on your phone, it can access everything. Your messages, your calls, your photos, your location data, even your microphone and camera. This spyware was developed by an Israeli company called NSO Group, and they claim that they only sell it to governments for legitimate law enforcement purposes. But we know that's not true. Pegasus has been used to target journalists, activists, politicians, even heads of state. It's a tool of repression, plain and simple. The good news is that Pegasus has been exposed and there's a growing movement to ban its use. But the bad news is that it's probably just the tip of the iceberg. Chapter 8. Deepfakes seeing isn't believing anymore. All right, let's talk about something that's messing with our perception of reality, deepfakes. If you haven't seen a deepfake before, it's basically a video that's been manipulated using artificial intelligence to make it look like someone is saying or doing something that they never actually said or did. And these deepfakes are getting scary good. You can barely tell the difference between a real video and a deepfake anymore. And that's a huge problem because deepfakes have the potential to erode trust, spread misinformation, and even incite violence. Imagine a deepfake video of a world leader declaring war on another country, or a deepfake video of you saying or doing something that could ruin your life. Some governments are starting to crack down on deepfakes, but it's an uphill battle. The technology is evolving so rapidly that it's hard to keep up. It's when we start playing God with the very building blocks of life. Chapter 10, Google Glass. They're always watching. Remember Google Glass? Those weird-looking glasses that were supposed to revolutionize the way we interact with the world? Well, Google Glass flopped hard, but not before it freaked a lot of people out. Google Glass had this little camera built into it that could record everything you were seeing. And it had this facial recognition software that could identify anyone you looked at. People were calling it creepy, invasive, Orwellian. Google Glass was a privacy nightmare. Outro. The future is now. What will they ban next? So there you have it, folks. The top 10 banned or controversial technologies that shock the world. From mind control to killer robots to spyware that can see through your walls, we've covered it all. Technology is advancing at an unprecedented rate, and with each new breakthrough comes a whole new set of ethical dilemmas. So what do you think? Which of these technologies do you find the most disturbing? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing content. Until next time, stay curious, my friends.